All right, this video we're going to talk about running technique. This is very crucial to enhance your performance for any type of test that you're doing. Like if you're doing high school cross country track or the actual track meets on the running field or collegiate or running for a military fitness test. There's a lot of misconceptions out there. I'm going to cover some of those today. One of the biggest misconceptions that's out there is your breathing. We have a lot of individuals that will inhale through their nose and exhale through their mouth. And I ask them, where'd you learn that from? And they go, well, that's what my high school coach told me. Okay, fine. So you got high school coaches, a lot of them, there's some great coaches out there, but a lot of them, they're book smart or they pass information down from generation to generation. And then I ask kids, I say, so how is it when you breathe that way? They go, well, I try to do the right way by breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth until I get tired. And then when I get tired, I breathe just through my mouth. And I'm like, well, okay, shouldn't that tell you something? If you're getting more fatigued by going in through your nose, out through your mouth, don't you think you should breathe through your mouth the whole time? And they sit there and they go, oh, it makes a lot of sense. The other thing is this, if you do a dead sprint, you just all out dead sprint. When you stop and you go to gather your breath, you sit here and go, or you sit here and gasp through your mouth. You get as much air as you can. Well, the answer is you gasp through your mouth and get as much air as you can. So in through your nose and out through the mouth, it doesn't relax you. What it does is it's slowing you down because you're not getting enough oxygen to be able to move faster. So breathe in through your mouth and out through your mouth. Okay, we covered that. Now, you want to relax your whole body from head to toe if you can. These are very crucial points that are going to help you on your run. When you're done with this video, go out and try them. And if you need to, get on my website at www.specwarfitness.com. Drop me an email, send me a text, send me a video, and I'll be more than happy to work through it with you and help you enhance your performance. So, again, relax your whole body from head to toe. Now, when I first heard that, I was a BUD/S trainee, and these were Vietnam vets that were trying to teach us how to do everything. And my Vietnam vet instructor sat there and goes, yeah, relax everything from head to toe. Me, 19-year-old kid, I know it all right. So what do? I'm sitting there in my head going, what the hell is that going to do for me? I'm not running on my forehead. I run with my legs. Why would I have to relax my face? Now I know. When you're running in soft sand, when you're running with combat boots and full op gear and stuff like that, you need to conserve as much energy as you can. And that's what running is all about. Try to get as efficient as possible and relax as much as you can. So relax everything from head to toe. You get a lot of guys, a lot of wrestlers and football players, they run and they got their shoulders up like this and their arms, pumping like this, and then after a while they're like, gee, my shoulders are really fatigued and tired. Arms, pumping like this, and then after a while they're like, gee, my shoulders are really fatigued and tired. Well, gee, go figure. Relax everything. When you walk, you have a natural arm swing. Use that when you're running. It could be a little more, a little pumping a little bit if you want. On sprinting, you'd pump. But on just your normal running, let it relax and go natural. So drop the shoulders, relax the shoulders, let your arms swing naturally. Keep your hands loose, like pinching a penny and between your index finger and your thumb, and run in that manner. Now, stand up straight. Is gravity pushing you forward or back? The answer is no. Now, if I sit here on my heels and I lean just enough to where I need to take a step, at this position, what happens if you pick up your front leg? Well, if I pick up my front leg with that slight lean, I'm going to fall on my face. So by having a forward lean, gravity is assisting you during your run. So as I'm running, I'm not standing up straight like this. I have a slight forward lean as I'm running. So that slight forward lean will help. Now, talk about foot placement. A lot of people, they have a tendency now to doing the pose running, which is basically what they tell you to do is just drop your feet right below your hip line. But what they're saying is that way you're not going to do a heel strike, okay? People will still do a heel strike in some incidents like that. So let's talk about foot placement. Standing up straight, take a step. What hits first, heel, ball, or toe? You're going to notice most of the time it's going to be a heel strike. Now, the bad thing about a heel strike is it can wear on your body. You sit here and you do a heel strike, all the energy is going to go straight down, right towards your heel. And every time you do a heel strike, it basically slows you down just a fraction, because you're driving downward instead of forward. So be aware of that. So now standing up straight, again, You take a step and that leads to a heel strike. Now, if you do your slight forward lean and you have a little bit of a lean into it, so I'm on my left leg, I'm going to take a step with my right foot. Now, when I take a step with my right foot, you'll notice that I'm going to have more of a ball toe strike. Some people will still have a heel strike. And if you do have a heel strike, make sure it's a soft heel strike and roll into it so you're going ball toe. Don't ever do a real hard heel strike. So by having that forward lean, that slight forward lean, and taking a step, you're going to have more of a ball toe contact versus a heel strike. All these things will help your performance in running. Now, the other thing you want to do is totally relax your quads. You ever see anybody skip before? You know, like every time you skip, when your leg goes up, it relaxes. So when you're running, every time you move from the hip flexor, every time your foot comes forward, totally relax your quads. The other point of that is a focal point. Focus on your knees. Every time I take a step, I focus on drawing my knees forward. And by doing that, I'm relaxing from the knee down through my toe. I'm relaxing my foot, so it's going to naturally have more of a ball to toe strike versus a heel strike by keeping it relaxed. A lot of people, they dorsiflex their feet when they go out here like that. They pull up their toes, which causes them to have more of a heel strike. Try to avoid that. So again, relax your quads and slight forward lean. Try to have ball to toe contact, totally relaxing your quads. And this will all enhance your running performance. Another thing you should do is on a focal point. Another focal point is pick a spot about 5 meters out in front of you. When I run, I pick a spot out here and I stay relaxed and I just let my mind go and I watch that spot, and that focal point on the ground just keeps moving. It's a moving spot that I look at and it relaxes me. I don't think about anything else and I just run and watch that spot. Now, when you come to a hill and you try to run up a hill, what you want to do is that spot out 5 meters is going to come right here in front of you. Lean into it, depending on how much of a hill you have. Lean into it more, look at that spot, and then when you get to the top of the hill, you're going to adjust your breathing rhythm by doing really deep exhalations. And you do a few of those and then go back into your cadence. Now, when I run for a breathing cadence, basically it's like, so it's like exhale, exhale, inhale. Okay, so I'm exhaling as deeply as I can. My focus is to exhale as deeply as I can, which is going to help me draw in more oxygen. So you're going to have to maybe review this 1 or 2 times to get all these points of performance, but they're all crucial to your success, and they'll definitely help you. Now, on another thing you want to focus on, again, you know, we were talking about your breathing cadence. You also want to focus on your RPMs, your turnover rate, or your every time you take a step. For example, every time my right foot hits, that's a turnover or an RPM. So you want to know what your RPMs are. So what you do is you take your stopwatch or your cell phone or whatever, your timer, and as you're running, you start it for 1 minute intervals. And during that 1 minute interval, every time your foot hits the ground, that's 1 RPM. Know your RPMs, you know, how many steps you're doing per minute. And you want to know this for your basic test score, you know, rock bottom, the minimum score to pass. If you know your RPMs, if you can run, try to time yourself when you're doing laps and run at that speed and get to know what that speed is. That way, if you're in a scenario like, say, for example, you're in the military and you go to boot camp and you had no sleep or 2 hours sleep and you had no breakfast, now you got to do a PST. Now you know what your RPMs are, the minimum RPMs that you're going to travel at to be able to pass that test. It's a confidence builder. And then as you're running, know what your RPMs are too. I always know what my RPMs are when I'm running, and that tells me approximately how fast I'm going to go because I might not have a watch all the time with me, depending on what type of training that we're actually doing. So that is very crucial too. And also be aware, there's only 2 ways to increase or decrease your run speed. You're either going to increase your stride or increase your RPMs or your turnover rate. Those are the only 2 ways you can do it. So if you get on a treadmill, here's a drill you can do, a test you can do. Get on a treadmill and start a jog. And once you get your breathing up to, you know, normal, comfortable breathing level at your jog, take it up to about a level 10. Now you're going to be doing a dead sprint. What I want you to do for the first series is increase your stride to adjust to that speed. Do that for a little bit, and once you feel what happened, come back down to the jog. Now you're going to do one more drill. You get your breathing back to normal, hit the button, take it back up to 10 again on the treadmill. And now what you're going to do is keep your stride the same and increase your RPMs. And then note what happens. When you increase your RPMs, your breathing rate's going to go up and you're going to be breathing a lot harder. So try the 2 out. You can get a happy medium on that. Now, when you're running, how many of you have done this? And this is where this comes into play. How many of you have been on a run? You're out there, you're running, you were feeling good, and all of a sudden you're really like beat, you're tired or whatever, you want to slow down. So you're like, yeah, nobody's around, so you slow down. And then by the time you sit there and you go, oh, I'm feeling good again, I can start picking up the speed, you're already about 30 seconds to a minute behind the 8 ball. If you were to analyze your body as to why you're feeling more fatigued, are you over-breathing? Are you overstraining? Are you putting too much tension in your legs? You know, is your stride too long? You know, analyze and figure out what it is. You could have figured out how to make the adjustment and started running a lot quicker, a lot sooner. And I always ask people this. So you're out on a run and you slow down and you go for to a walk or a slow jog or something like that. I said, if your mother was watching and you were racing, or your girlfriend or whoever, boyfriend, whoever, would you slow down? And 100% of them said, no, I would have kept on going. So is that physical or is that mental? If you could have kept on going, that's the mental aspect. So you got to be aware of that. So take all these points of performance, utilize them, try them out. Now, here's the timeline for adjustments. If you're going to make any of these adjustments, they might feel kind of odd to you at first. And a lot of times it takes on average of 2 weeks, because what you're doing is you're changing your movement patterns. Anytime you adapt and make changes like this, it takes about 2 weeks to get accustomed to it. It's like if you broke your right leg. If you break your right leg and you try walking upstairs, you're going to go left foot, draw up your right. Left, draw up your right. Now, 6 weeks goes by, you get your cast taken off. How do you go up the stairs? Same way. Left foot, bring up your right. So you develop the movement pattern. So it takes a little bit of time to change and alter that movement pattern to get back into what's normal. So those are all things to be aware of. So I hope this helps. Take this on board and give it a shot, and you should see some drastic improvements in your running performance. Again, if you have any questions, you can always go to my website at www.specwarfitness.com, and my email is on there, my cell phone's on there. Contact myself or one of my other co-workers, scout team, and we're more than happy to help you out. Happy running. Have a good day. Hoo-yah.